things that maybe I need to change in order to help improve my relationship. It's almost as if they go into survival mode and they go into just tackling the relationship issue. But a lot of the issues that happen in relationships are because of you or because of me.
Right.
So the relationship is a vehicle where you're using, but the issue is the driver. So that's
Right.
what needs to be tackled in that sense. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Like, it is self work. Like, you have to work on self in order to be a better person. And as I mentioned before, going to therapy or improving yourself is not necessarily for the other person. They just reap the benefits of the elevated you and the you that grew. But you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for you. And with you changing you or elevating you or growing yourself, like, I reap that, or the relationship reaps that. You know what I mean? Because you did it for you. Opposed to, like, okay, my relationship's about to end, so let me just throw this therapy thing so I can get her back or like bring her back in. And it's like, I think, I hate to say this, but that might have worked when I was in my 20s. But being that I'm in my early 30s is like, nah, bruh. Like, it's not, that's not gonna fly. I'm grown now. So that's really not gonna fly.
I hear that. That's fair. That's fair. I'm hearing that. Thank you, Keisha. Stay on there. I'm just gonna ask other people as well to join the conversation.
Sure.
Regina Smalls, what's good? Talk to me.
Hey, Kojo. Hey, everybody.
What's
Sorry, I
good?
missed some of the conversation, but
That's
is the
okay.
prompt, have you ever had to let a good man go? Is that what we're talking about?
That and is being a good man enough in 2023? Are women asking too much? You can ask any of those questions as well if you feel.
Um, I don't think being a good man is enough. Um, I know for me personally, I did have to let a good man go. Really, mainly because he wasn't. So we started dating. We dated for about 6.5 months, and I mean, on paper, he was a great guy. He had a great career. He courted me. Um, anything I wanted or needed, I had. He had his own place. I mean, everything on paper, was good. He was emotionally intelligent. He was in therapy once a week, working on himself consistently. Um, but we ended up breaking up because I realized that I wasn't being mentally and emotionally and spiritually fed. And I realized that that was something that was super important to me. And if I'm being honest, I did try to like separate myself from him before we became exclusive, because I did feel like he wasn't going to be able to give me that substance that I was looking for. But he kind of pleaded his case to me, and we decided to go for it. But yeah, after a while, I did realize that we weren't emotionally or mentally compatible in that way. So I wouldn't say that being a good guy is enough. Um, I think he's a great guy. We just weren't compatible. So I think compatibility is even more important than just being a good guy.
Okay, I'm hearing that. That's fair. So question, obviously, like I said, you would say he was a good guy. He was putting the work in and everything, but it was a case of compatibility, or we say chemistry in a sense, in this aspect. He wasn't able to nourish you in that particular aspect. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that'd be fair. I mean, like, even the conversations that you have on your channel, like, I would love to have like
Mm.
type of conversations with my partner. And I remember mentioning to him one time that, I want my husband to be my best friend. And he was like, well, I don't want that. So that's when I really realized that we weren't on the same page. If I want my husband to be my best friend and you're like, I'm good on that, um, then we're not aligned in that way. And I also will say that he was new to his faith, or what I call a baby Christian, new to his faith. So I feel like I was kind of dragging him along, and we weren't evenly yoked. So
I appreciate it. So he was a good guy, but he just wasn't. Unfortunately, as we got to grips with stuff, it wasn't for you, which is fair. Um, question. Uh, could you tell us the ways that you communicated with him about the lack of nourishment he was giving you in those particular sections that you spoke about, right? The spiritual, the emotional, the mental. How did you communicate the lack of nourishment that you were receiving?
Well, at first, I just tried to initiate those conversations myself. And then when it was kind of, I was getting shut down. And I realized he probably didn't have the capacity to have those conversations. And then eventually, I just kind of, one thing I did love about our relationship that we had honest conversation. So eventually, I just ended up saying, like, this is what I needed. And he could come to me and tell me what he needed. But eventually, I was trying to, like, tell him this is what I needed and offer support in that way. He did, like, reevaluate and try to adjust those things, but it wasn't something that he could keep up with consistently. So really, we just, like, talked it out, and I'm a big example person, so I would give examples of things that I needed, conversations I would like to have, or things like that. I think sometimes he didn't appreciate the examples, or he felt like I was telling him what to do. But yeah, so that would probably be what I did.
I appreciate you sharing that. How difficult would you say it was to be able to have those degrees of conversation about the improvements that needed to be made? You know what I mean? Like how difficult was it from your side to have those kind of conversations?
I think for me at first, saying it initially was kind of easy because I felt like it was my first time saying it, and he was really, like, a responsive guy. If I said I needed something, he would find a way to, figure it out. So at first I was, like, really hopeful, and then after a while, when I didn't really see too much change, it was kind of like repeating it felt like I was nagging, and then it started to become uncomfortable. But in the beginning, it was really easy for me, and like I said, I value open and honest conversation. I welcome it. So yeah, I think at first it was really easy, and then after a while, it was like, okay, I'm nagging from not getting what I want. I don't know if it's going to work, and I think he started to see that too.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Regina. Dr. 100, welcome to the conversation. We're talking about it's been a good man enough in 2023. Want to get your thoughts. Talk to me.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'd be triple muted over here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Keisha, Regina. How are you all?
What's goody?
Hey.
And hey, chat folks. Y'all know Kojo don't be liking me to be up here, y'all. Let me tell y'all, he don't be liking me up here. He be trying to block me, y'all. He be trying to block me. And he be trying to block me in the comments and all that. But it don't matter because it's my brother and I love him and I'm going to say what I got to say. It's going to be like that. He's smiling because he know I'm telling the truth. But it don't matter.
Got you.
And
I
I
got
hope
you.
that other ladies come on up because this is an opportunity to allow us to have a conversation that doesn't feel lopsided